Touche. 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 That's why I stopped looking at I look at shit differently. As soon as them bitches got to talking about it, I was like, I'm done. I'm absolutely fucking done. Motherfuckers get to talking about babies, bitch, you gotta lie. You gotta lie. Nicki Minaj, Cardi B talking about bitches gonna hunt raccoons and shit. Them motherfuckers don't give a fuck about nobody except for their motherfucking self. And like I said, we need to be teaching our children how to invest in themselves and not invest in other people that they look up to that really don't give a fuck about them. That's why, you know what? I aspire to be me and who I am, um, and not let a bitch sway my emotions um, off of basic shit. And that's why I love my daughter. Like, my daughter looks up to me. I would love her regardless, even if she didn't, right? But she encourages me to become a better version of myself every fucking day of every fucking moment because she aspires to be like me. And I understand why. Oh, I understand why. It's very sad. Nicki Minaj, 616 on the clock, has decided to open her mouth about what's going on in Nigeria. And she's an illegal immigrant. As soon as I heard the shit too about, this has been ongoing, but Kelly Price is an immigrant as well. And I said, how many people have we supported, listened to their music, and they are here making ill-begotten, suggestions or ways and or really just on a grotesque level don't give a fuck about us. They just want our support, right? Hi, and it's amazing. It's amazing how people can say that they care or say, I love my fans, I love my fans. I don't look at nobody as they're my fans. Like, I look at people like I want to be the example of healing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only example I want to be of. I don't want to be glorified. I don't want to be no, thank you. Hell no. I would hate to be one of these movie stars, one of these actresses, one of these rappers, one of these singers, and be from a whole other ass country, bleaching and dyeing my skin and pretending to be somebody else, getting ass enhancement, breast enhancement, belly tuck, ass tuck, nipple tuck, what the hell ever. Uh, I would hate to hate myself and want people to aspire to be like me. I would not want people to be like me if I hate myself. But of course, they're not going to tell you that. They're in it for the money. They really don't give a fuck about nobody. These people are really not in their soul's purpose. And the energy is showing for itself, honestly. And I'm just, what I'm saying? I use the music for what it is, and I don't look up to these people as an inspiration and an aspiration to my life. But it does bring great disappointment when, what I'm saying? Like I said, a few months ago, like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B talk about each other's children. Like, y'all got to be the most childish. That is the most ill-begotten thing you could probably ever do. Besides the other shit. Like, it's really, and then you marry a pedophile. Like, hello, how you doing? Thank you guys for tapping in. Thank you for guys for the like, shares, and subscribes. Thank you guys so much. I'm really looking at, like, What's really going on? And then I'm also looking at Tasha K too, like, why aren't you talking about, now she might talk about it, but there's some other things that she has not talked about and touched on that I'm wondering if she's going to talk about. And I'm just like, who should we really aspire to be like? This is one of the things that is constantly being brought up to the forefront, right? This is that Scorpio going direct into retrograde, honestly. This dark occultic hidden magic and these things that these people have been participating in being exposed for everybody to see. How they really been in bed with each other for real, and how they truly support each other to keep us suppressed. This destiny swapping, y'all don't understand how deep and how serious this really goes. This destiny swapping is so important for you to know who you are, to love yourself, and to understand that you are the only one that can really give yourself that much love. And if you come across somebody that is giving themselves that much love, and you know what I'm saying, you guys happen to come together, and that's a fucking awesome thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But how many of these relationships really are super fictitious? That's why I said we really, hello, thank you for tapping in, thank you for commenting. Shout out to you guys. We really need to take time out and self-reflect at this time of how these things are being exposed. And we have been talking about this, you know, energy readers, psychics, tarot readers have been talking about this extremely for the past 2 years, and definitely for the past 5 years, that these fake relationships want to fall apart. These people want to fall apart at the hems, at the bones, at the hinges, and truly be exposed for who they are. This is a mass scale. Understand that the manipulation and the control is really crazy. What are you laughing for? I'm laughing because it's really disgusting. And it's really amazing because we have given our information, honestly, willingly and freely to these people. Whether we attended a concert, I've attended probably at least 2 to 3, maybe 5 concerts in my lifetime. The best one I went to was Ice Cube's. No drama, Crips and Bloods there. It was a good time. It was an awesome time, you know? But it's really disappointing. Like, that's why a lot of this is coming out and being brought to the forefront. Like, y'all got to think about this. Kai Cenat looks up to Nicki Minaj. Kai Cenat is also an immigrant. Kai Cenat has also disrespected the indigenous people of the United States. I'm just like, what healing are they doing? What healing are we teaching our children? These people that they're looking up to, would they look up to them if they understood the fact that they're supportive to them realistically in a tight bond? In a tight bind is what I'm saying. We can't be willing to give so much of ourselves Nope, don't have a wig. Ourselves to people like this, like boycotting for the holidays, boycotting all these fucking holidays, boycotting. I mean, literally every singer or rapper that is not supportive of the healing method shouldn't be supported ultimately at this point. I can really say that if they don't have no teeth, no foot, no arm, no leg in everybody, honestly, I don't hear about Nicki Minaj. So what? Get off my channel if I'm petty. I'm truthful. And if I was petty, I'd get on here talking about dump truck, but I don't got time. I got time to talk about real things. So, thank you. So, if these things we are teaching and just, letting our children use these devices, I mean, ultimately, whether you be a Christian, a Muslim, whatever, a Buddhist, it doesn't matter. If you're letting your children aspire to be like these people, that's why I say be careful. The music doesn't mean the same thing as what they're saying and rapping it to be. I use it for my own purposes. And that's how I've gotten a lot of the information, and how fucking right my information was. Right now, it still hasn't seeped in, but it's crazy. That's why I'm glad I took a step back to even be like, you know what I'm saying? Really think about the energy that is happening in your lifetime as you're listening to this music. What energy is being spoken? You just let it rule your life. You don't have the intentions on your life. And so what I'm saying, what's the intention that you have in your life as opposed to listening to this music and it really running your life in the background? We have to think about this. Because I've told y'all before, like the experiences and some situations that happened in my life, I was listening to certain music and certain artists, and to find out later on in life that what they experience is something I experienced, but it could have even been worse. You know what and this child sacrificing, these, us giving our information to these people, going to concerts, giving them ways of tracking us, eventually becoming a victim of child trafficking, drug trafficking, organ trafficking is a real thing. Somebody from ICE just got caught in a sex trafficking scheme. Like, this shit is real. I told y'all, there is no fucking way that all of this could be going down if law enforcement was not involved. There's no way. It's only one person. Ooh. So, We give them access to our information. They've been keeping this scandal and all these scandals going. And I had just watched a video of a guy talking about how a lot of children have been coming up missing. Well, that was in the news last year, the year before last, and how they unalived a teacher. You know what I mean? A lot of this shit takes place. And I guarantee you, with a little digging and research, you can find that what happens in typical situations. I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you nosy children, you nosy kids, right? They all have something in common. We all at some point have looked up to someone that was rich and famous, a music artist, a rap artist, multiple people, and listened to their music and been susceptible to these things. Given our information, just the basic, government systems, they are all involved. This is what's like honestly sad. This is what's really, really sad. So let me go back to the other day when I came across that video. And it really makes me sad. Like I told y'all, my whole situation, 2 children came missing. There it is. I knew I didn't have to look far for it. This is a Nigerian perspective with Funk Stephen. Oh God. It's his YouTube name. It says 3 abductions in 1 week. Nigeria reactions live. That is a 2-hour and 8-minute long video. I watched that video, and he said the only one that really covered that accident that happened as of recently was Fox News. This head is coming to such of a popping. It's past festering. It has no more life to live. In matter of fact, what I have been getting recently is Monsters Inc. What did she say? Hold on. I'm getting that. I'm watching you, Mike Wazowski. I've been getting that. Like they're all busted. This has been undercover. She was the undercover one the whole time. They were having to turn their information into her as the receptionist, documenting the rooms that they were going to scare in to, collect the energy from the children, right? I've been getting it lately. And that also is an intel of what the hell's been going on anyway. I was like, damn, I should be her for something. I don't know, maybe a day. I'm watching you, Mike Wazowski. Yeah, I've been getting that energy. These motherfuckers are roasted, toasted, and
start saving early and get ready for the year's
oven boasted. They are all getting caught in this scandal, and it's insane. Y'all gotta remember Nicki Minaj. she she bleaches and dyes her skin. Like she doesn't love who she is. She didn't love who she was to get in the game. Like she was never really truly authentic. You know, her words and stuff like that might have been to a certain extent, but like right now she's showing her true fucking colors. That's how she really fucking feel. Like regardless of how I may feel in that moment, I really truly don't want people to be hurt, right? I really truly don't. I wouldn't support, Burgermeister. I really wouldn't in real life. And in real life, I have been ignoring their music. I've been ignoring what the hell's actually going on in their life, even to the certain extent. And it's not just because it's not for clout chasing. It's just like how I really, truly, genuinely feel about these situations, about what's going on. And I can see the in betweens. I can see the in between the lines. I can read the energy. I can feel the energy, and it feels off. It feels fucking off. It feels like they're hiding and they're doing way more. And everybody's about to get caught, and they're trying to fucking support the one that's been exposed at this point, and it's about to all fall down. Like it's about to all go down, and they ass is stuck in there, and everybody's about to. I'm telling you, it's not looking good for them.
Chalubi, baby. Good morning, Roz, my succulent little garden snail. And who would we be scaring today?
Wazowski, you didn't file your paperwork last night.
Oh, that darn paperwork. Wouldn't it be easier if it all just blew away?
Don't let it happen again.
Yes, well, I'll try to be less careless.
I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
Whew, she's nuts.
Always watching. Like Burgermeister trying to pretend to somebody he is not. Like he's trying to act like he's a fucking judge. Like he ain't got no fucking power on this realm. That's the thing, bro. This man is going. He's already in hell, in his own personal hell, with his gasoline draws on. He there. He's not going. He's there. Remind y'all. Remember, I tell y'all, this is your own personal hell. It's what you make it here. And people love to make their own personal hell, bro. Like, Gemini's is so fucking petty, bro. Gemini's is hella fucking petty.
Cast your ads from.
And he is the most fucking toxic Gemini I fucking know today. And I only know because I've dealt with one before. I don't even think I messed with a Gemini before. I think he was the first Gemini I ever messed with. And bro, I would never trust that motherfucker again. I ain't gonna lie. And he told me how petty he is, just like Dump Truck did. He said, "Oh, I love to get revenge and shit like that." When somebody tell you that, you better believe it. You better believe it. His ass petty as fuck.
As you guys can tell by the title of today's video, we're going to be diving.
This is just Bahati Life Tribe. We ain't gonna listen to this. This is like an hour long. I'll listen to that shit later. That's great. I do not want to be on here that long. So, petty. Call me petty because I'm right, and I really didn't want to be right. But where the fuck else is this happening at? Like, how else is this happening? Please tell me, how else is this happening? That guy said, a lot of us are going to go to jail, including me. It's like, what? You confess to that? They confessing. Because they know the jig is up. They know the jig is up. They know they have been a lot of wrong. They have been doing a lot of framing. I don't see a fast resolve for this shit. I see a lot less children getting taken and abducted and etc. Trafficking, drug trafficking, organ trafficking, all that shit, drug trafficking. And it starts with the legal system. It's the system that they fucking put into place. That they're trying to say, oh, not us, it's you. Well, yo. Let's get to this. The rest of this damn video. Oh, you guys. So, I thought of a beautiful way, right? So, I'm going to pick a topic. And this is what we're going to do. One of my subscribers, this is how we're going to win prizes, right? One of my subscribers is going to be picked to do almost like an essay on these different topics that we talk about. One in particular, like I said, I was going to do the research on the Cygnus and all of that. I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like going deeper into it because I feel like the information is there. You know what I'm saying? And just like me, you guys need to always go and do your own research. But what we can do is one of the subscribers will be picked to, somewhat give their own perspective of what they think and what conclusion and what research they did to come up that would pretty much aligns with that topic. And I feel like that is an awesome way of giving away money and also, a stimulant. I feel like that's fairly decent and that's a good idea. Of course, there'll be other ways that we give away money on this channel, when we get to that. And we're going to talk about it as we go along. But that's one of the ways I was like, oh, that would be a decent way of doing it. I like that idea. I want to hear other people's opinions as well. And, I want to see, really what they have to say. So that's one thing that you guys can do. And that's going to be a thing to get some money. I haven't forgot about my gifts that I'm going to already give away from out of my own pocket. I haven't forgot about that. I still don't have the P.O. box yet. So I'm working on a few things in order to make this thing move the way we need it to move to keep things in order.
For quite some.
So this is Reese Waters. Nicki Minaj uses Nigeria to fully embarrass MAGA.
Sometime, be it Rwanda.
And then she says, Barbs. I said, Jesus, look at this. Look at the menagerie. What is the definition of menagerie? Because this is some bullshit. What is the definition of menagerie? Can you read it out loud to me, please? And thank you. You fuck up. This is some menagerie. Oop. We're going to figure it out. Hopefully.
Of this result. A menagerie is a collection of wild animals for exhibition or study, or the place where they are kept. It can also be used figuratively to describe a varied or diverse group of people or things. View related links. Definition: a collection of wild animals, exhibition or study where such animals are kept. Figure: miscellaneous or varied group of people or things. Pronunciation: monetery or moneyery. View related links. Word of the day: menagerie, the New York Times. Word of the day: menagerie, the New York Times. February 19th, 2022, menagerie, menagerie, noun 1. A collection of wild animals.
A collection of wild animals
Animals for study or display.
or
The New York
display.
Times about this result.
This is absolutely a menagerie. This is insane. Bro, I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills. This shit is not even funny. That's what menagerie means. Oh, that's sad. I really want to cry.
The Congo.
And that's how they treat us, like fucking animals, though. On display. It's not far-fetched now, is it there?
All of our conversations about Gaza, and prior to that, it was conversation about Russia and Ukraine, and then it was the Syrian.
Oh yeah, Russia just had another earthquake, 5.7 earthquake.
And refugees. There's been stuff going on in Africa the entire time. The world treats African atrocities the way the U.S. media treats black victims. That's
true.
That's basically, it's got to get to a point where it can no longer be ignored. Then all of a sudden, okay, fine, let's get that straight. Let's also get straight that we did see some interest.
Like, I wonder, like, is she going after Nigeria like that because Beyonce fucks with Nigeria? Like, she fuck with Africa, and I don't even think she fuck with Nigeria like that. But I really think that she fuck with I think like Ghana and stuff like that. But I really, in particularly, don't know where she shot that scene for her video for her movie. The video for Rise Up for the movie Lion King. So fucking crazy ass shit.
Interest from this situation in Africa. Now, what was it? It was the white South Africans. That's right. That's when we went in and brought in the white South Africans on the word of Elon said. Yeah, on the word of Elon said, we went in with evidence that was widely mocked in South Africa. We went and brought in white South Africans in the midst of mass deportation, right? In the midst of ICE raids, we went in and brought in white South Africans. And let's also keep in mind, black Africans were more likely to be victims of crime. Wasn't nobody reaching out for them, but we went and got the white South Africans. And by the way, MAGA, because I know that was a big,
This is not funny because this also happens in America. Witness protection, right? They get jealous and they get mad because 9 times out of 10, the indigenous of this land become victims because of people's thoughts of their ways and circumstances. And I was just watching a video on that shit, and I was like, damn, that's motherfucking true. That shit crazy. I was like, that's why I pretty much put my own self into my own witness protection program. I was under a spiritual witness protection program. Them motherfuckers was not helping me. They ain't give a fuck. Just like right now, they don't give a fuck. They're like literally picking at me to want me to lash out. But like I tell them, I don't got to do the lashing, honey. Trust me, I don't. God gonna do it. I don't know how, but God gonna do it. God don't never fail. God is never on vacation. God don't never fail because God, I was already told that this shit was gonna happen anyway. That's what they gotta, you know what I'm saying? That's what they gotta get through their thick ass mind of the fucking bullshit that they do. That, yeah, I may cry, yeah, I may get upset, but at the same time, I understood what didn't need to be said. This shit was gonna happen. There wasn't shit I could do to stop it, but guess what? You can't do shit to knock me off my pivot for me to, you know what I'm saying, to trick me out my spot. Because ultimately, when people want you to spaz out like that, and I'm way past spazzing out like that, they want to trick you out your spot. Had they caught me in my motherfucking teens and fucking 20s, I'm glad I didn't have children earlier than what I did, because, boy, let me tell you, yeah, I would have been. Y'all probably would have never known me. I probably would have went a whole another way in life. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. Cause I'm real about my children, and I'm really about children, period. Like, I don't play when it comes to nobody's children. I really don't. And my babies know that about me. That's why they are truthful to me. Woo! And when I say they gon' eat times 10 everything they have done to my children, oh, I fucking mean that shit. They pretty much, you know what this fucked up system will do is try to gaslight you into believing. It's like the movie Glass, for real. Like, they try to gaslight you into believing what you seen you really did not see, what you really don't know, and want to put you on medication for it ultimately. And all I can say is, when these feet and these hands touch ground, when they touch trees, when they ride, bitch, you're gonna feel God.
That was really hilarious to you when he totally did an end around mass deportation to bring in white South Africans and left you with quite a dilemma, huh? I would love for you to weigh in on the white South Africans now that we've seen him weigh in on H-1Bs.
You can't come in, open up a massive computer chip factory for billions and billions of dollars like is being done in Arizona, and think you're going to hire people off an unemployment line to run it. They're going to have to bring thousands of people with them, and I'm going to welcome those people. I love my conservative friends. I love MAGA, but this is MAGA.
Yeah, now that we've seen Trump weigh in on H-1Bs, and we know the white South Africans came in with a desire to farm, I would certainly love to hear from the farmers all about how that's going. So this is what we have established, that Africa largely gets ignored, but that hasn't stopped this administration from utilizing Africa in order to push some other agenda. Now that we got that straight,
motherfuckers,
what could this be about?
Nicki Minaj working with Trump admin on plight of Christians in Nigeria. Either she's getting a check or she was MAGA the whole time, or she's genuinely thinks that she's doing something good, which, by the way, is why y'all need to have people around you that know more than you.
But that's supposed to be you. No, for me, you supposed to be my person though. Why you yelling at me though?
And by y'all, I don't just mean celebrities. Everybody.
Yes.
Everybody should have people around them that they can consult with.
Yes.
That think differently than you.
Not MAGAs. Are you saying we need to keep MAGAs around?
No, hell no.
We should just have a couple of MAGAs for reference in the garage?
Y'all need to have people around you that know more than you. And by y'all, I don't just mean celebrities. Everybody. Everybody should have people around them that they can consult with, that think differently than you, that hold you in a place of...
I just want to know, have they tried their higher self? Have you tried? God, truly, have you tried? I'm happy, you know what I'm saying? I do gain some wisdom from, you know what I'm saying, here and there. You know what I'm saying? I give people credit. For, you know, they put me up on some game, they teach something new. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. I didn't know that. Thank you. I was willing to learn that. I appreciate you. But common sense ain't that common. This has been the running theme, and damn, we vastly really need to get rid of this. We don't have elders, bro. I don't know what the hell these things is. I'm getting chills. We do not have elders. We don't have elders. We really have ourselves, and it's not a sad, lonely place to be. It's an awesome place. It's what you make it. But bro, the ignorance is thick, and how like you know, a lot of this ignorance, I can see it's coming from New York. You know, ignorance comes from other places as well. But I see a cycle, and when I see a cycle, I just gotta point it out just a little bit. This not to point out, you know what I'm saying, like New York is ignorant. No, that's not what I'm saying. Because trust me, I look at somebody from Cali, and this motherfucker straight belligerent, ain't got no common scruples. You talking about people that is homeless or people that were struggling from homeless. As a so-called man, boy, do you need a fucking wake-up call with what's going on now? We don't have no elders. We don't have no elders. We do not have elders. We do not have elders. Like we is the elders. And we better teach our children how to fucking get about this buffoonery so they don't end up like these people, like the examples that we have today, because they're really not good examples. Everybody, a lot of these people have really lost their shit, and they really look fucking stupid right now. They look like ultimately they shouldn't be existing. They're merely existing at this point. They have no good judgment. They have nothing growth worthy of digesting, like for the ones that are just Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Sean Rock, fucking Dogma. Dogma has ruined lives. And this is what the aliens were talking about. How dogma would ruin lives and how it's not really, the best idea to divide and conquer. But, yet people still want to go by certain systemic values that really they don't work no more. They're not working. They have never really worked. And we can't look to these people for answers. We can't look to these people for forgiveness. That's been a repeat offender for the last few days, honest to God. We can't look to these people for answers, forgiveness, explanations. The fuck? We just gotta pick up wherever you're at and really move on. Simply. And just be an observer. And see, the fucking craziness that the people that just keep participating in these toxic cycles. Because ultimately, that's all they are. They're toxic cycles.
About
Okay. All right. Now you thank you. That holds you in a place of value. All right. Now, hey, release them Angus. Yeah, release them out there. I don't care where they go.
YouTube Premium is ad.
just so you understand what's happening here with the plight of Christians in Nigeria, there is a plight of Christians in Nigeria. However, the U.S., what does that have to do with the United States? The United States is using this as a ploy, as a proxy to find their way into Nigeria so that they can then find their way into the Sahel states of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, who, as you know, are coming together to begin a process of Pan-Africanism on the continent. They are taking back their resources from France.
Yep.
They are saying we are going to build our own infrastructures. This undermines the global empire's goal.
I told y'all this is the reason why they are wanting to pick wars, and this is the reason why they created the system that they created, is to create their own narrative and attempt to control the narrative and pretty much act out the fucking menagerie that they fucking do and that they are and that they exist in. Like, what the fuck? You can't mind your business. Like, these motherfuckers can't mind their business. They gotta find some dummy to do the work. Quite literally, I ain't scared. I don't know. If you a Crip or a Blood or a fucking human being and you can't see past this bullshit, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, because this is not what God is about. But it's showing up looking like the damn devil. I can tell y'all that much. It's looking like the devil. It's giving the devil.
And so they have to try and shut it down. Now, we saw earlier this year with AFRICOM.
Oh, wait. And that's why the U.S., us, is the last stand. This is the last stand. That's what I should have named this shit. They don't care. This is the last stand. What the fuck are y'all waiting? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Type energy. Shit, the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, petty. Petty. not exposing. Petty is just, making fun of. Because my brain was going off. And it's crazy. The guy that was, they met up on Capitol Hill, right? As the Trumplicans did 6th of 2020 or whenever that was. I think it was 2021 that they did that and did the bullshit that they did. And I swear to God, yo, he was reciting words from Nipsey Hussle's song. Fuck Donald Trump. And I'm in tears, busting up laughing. And he said he's cancer. He said he's cancer and we got to get rid of the cancer. Y'all go watch it, go listen to it. Because I was like, bro, that sounds familiar. He said it, but he said it in a tasteful way. Yo, I can't do it.
And that general who tried to say, they got some problems going down in Burkina Faso, they're continuing to try to make this happen the same way that they're making fetch happen in Venezuela right now. When do we stop allowing ourselves to be used?
When?
Now, how about that? We got a burgeoning independence movement, and magically we want to be participatory and really pay attention to what's going on in Africa. Which, by the way, if you haven't been paying attention to what's going on in Nigeria.
Nicki Minaj joined the Trump administration at the United Nations to speak about what she believes is the unaliving of Christians in Nigeria. Now, Nicki Minaj aligning with the Trump administration should not really surprise anyone. I mean, Nicki has been Kanye West on Twitter for a very long time. And the one thing that I will give Nicki in this conversation is I believe that she believes that this thing is happening and she believes that she is standing up for people who are being persecuted. Now, I can then take a step back from that empathy space and go, you are severely misinformed as to the nuance of what is happening in Nigeria, number one. Because what is happening in Nigeria is a series of conflicts in which people are, in many ways, whether it's terrorist groups or different community groups, are having these interpersonal conflicts. And some of them do align themselves with the Christian church, but also those same groups are also having conflicts with other groups of Muslims where there have been unalivings. And so it is reductionist to just say it's a targeted Christian attack, while at the same time you can say that there are Christians who are being attacked. I have long said that Christianity has a built-in persecution complex, and I also think that there is like a hoe to holy pipeline that absolutely exists in Black church spaces.
Oh, you done said it. Oh, you done said it.
In Black church space.
Hey, I tell you this, you better be at altar call. You better be at altar call. Well, you better go off a Christian experience.
I can't believe I just said that. Like, how the holy is crazy. And this is where the nuance of the conversation about wanting celebrities to participate in political discourse really gets going. Because on the one hand, I think it's very important that we recognize that celebrities are not coming to save us. No one is. It is up to us to do the work every single day to ensure that we are fighting against fascism. And at the same time, I do think it's important that when celebrities are participating in this discourse, that they're doing so from an informed perspective. Because to me, there's nothing worse than...
But they're doing this shit, they are doing it on purpose. This is the thing. They're doing it on purpose. They know what the fuck is going on. Bro. They know what the fuck is going on. They know about politicking. Especially if they gang bangers. Nicki Minaj is a banger. She's what, from Detroit? Where is Nicki? What gang banging hood is Nicki Minaj from in New York? She's from Queens, South Jamaica. Oh, see? Oh, Queens, New York. Jesus, fix it. She was born in Trinidad and Tobago and moved to Jamaica. Moved to the Jamaican neighborhood in Queens. And I forgot she's an immigrant. At the age of 5 with her family. She's often spoken proudly about her hometown and even received the key to some Queen achievement. Oh no, I think what's her name is from the Bronx. She grew up in the Bronx. Cardi B. She lived in a house on 147th Street. I seen you on 47 today too. Street in the neighborhood. That's fucking crazy. So she's from fucking Trinidad. Oh damn. I accidentally got an extra card. Extra card. Get out of there. 2 extra cards. You're looking forward to this damn deception. Getting exposed for this deception. That heifer dark as fuck. Nicki Minaj is black as fuck. Nicki Minaj's real original color, she blacker than me. She is blacker than me. I'm telling y'all, that's fucking crazy. But I don't know what you motherfuckers been doing black magic.
A celebrity is using their platform, which is usually very large, and spreading some sort of disinformation or misinformation that they are then seen as an expert in because they made good music. Which is where we do land in the was silence not an option space for some folks. There are also some folks who are really good at creating artistic expressions about things that are happening, but not good about talking about things that are happening. But ultimately, I can kind of predict what's going to happen is that at some point in the next several weeks, Nicki will start beefing with somebody who's involved with the Trump administration, and then she'll declare that she was hoodwinked and she was just trying to stand up for Christians the whole time. Like, this cycle is a tale as old as time. Once again, see Kanye West circa 2019.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I can't imagine how long this piece with MAGA is going to last. Have fun with Laura Loomer and Lauren Boebert. That should be pretty good. And the ones that really got to be on the lookout is Black MAGA. Oh boy, you mean the Nicki Minaj who has never seen a bridge she won't nuke, especially if it fails the brown paper bag test? I'll be honest, I couldn't want nothing more for you, Black MAGA. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Enjoy.
Nicki Minaj is the perfect example of why people say all skin folk and kinfolk. To start with the obvious, she just got done demonizing Nigeria to the United Nations on behalf of the President of the United States. I would be as shocked as I am appalled if I didn't already have the opinion that Nicki Minaj is not necessarily the best human being. There's something about a millionaire non-U.S. citizen who came here as an undocumented immigrant.
There we go again with the undocumented. Huh. Did they open a case on her or something?
Supporting the most undocumented immigrant deporting president who literally built a secret police to target people just like her, plus all of the people with weird cases around her that never really sat right with me. And it's especially
selling people out. Sellouts. I was just talking about that now, wasn't I? You gotta be careful with these contracts. You gotta be careful with contracts you take, or your ass can be gone the fuck too. Damn, Justice, King of Pentacles. Ooh, I got chills. I got hard chills. Yeah, these are not being like the other ones. These is hard copy. Scorpio, King of Pentacles. Ooh, nigga. Where has that money been going to? Smell a dirty sneak cheek. He been supporting rappers. She's been a sellout.
Interesting coming out of
And he could
the very public confrontation she just had with Cardi B, where they were calling each other's kids slow and ugly and all of that. Like, I genuinely don't care about Cardi B versus Nicki Minaj. Yes, they have their personal issues, but with this development, I've actually come to the realization that I have to pick a side. Cardi B is known to be a low-key politics and history person, and needless to say, that awareness puts her on the opposite side of Nicki Minaj when it comes to politics. And at a time in American politics, when it's literal fascists versus everybody else, it's crazy to think that supporting Nicki Minaj is supporting fascism. But Nicki Minaj clearly supports fascism.
Well, I can tell you this. You can say what you will about Cardi B, but she ain't never support no fascism. I can tell you that right now. That's a easy, you know what I mean? That's an easy Cardi B for me. I got no problem.
In turn, puts you in that position by supporting her. And make no mistake.
But she also don't like who she is. She also don't like her nigga nose. These are words. Heavy burden judgment from her mouth.
I like Nicki Minaj's actual music more than I like Cardi B's, but I might really just have to go spin that new Cardi album out of spite in light of all it is.
That's right.
Here comes when being petty gets you caught the fuck up. You gonna go buy an album petty just to make a statement when they both really in the same fucking boat. I said both of them bitches slow. Talking about each other's children like that. And then Nicki Minaj, seriously, can't get away with deception. There's no lesser evil in this shit. There is no lesser evil. We gotta stop with the lesser evil at this point. Like, seriously, either you about your business or you not. Put the foot down, look, equal give and take, 6 of Pentacles with that 10 of Wands. Put that fucking foot down, or no. These bitches is teetering and tottering shit that they really don't give a fuck about. Like, that's crazy. I like both of them, and Cardi B was like really somebody that I did look up to. But with both of their actions, it's just like shit. I rather cut ties. I even don't like Beyonce. I did started liking Beyonce at one point. I don't even know why I really didn't like her in the beginning, but it's a thing with energetically. It's just something that I feel is not right. Ain't none of this shit right. A whole new world. Through this deck, you are badass being for life. Love possibilities through this deck. May you find a path to your best self. We have to find the path to ourselves, not through somebody else. You know what I'm saying? They're to be used as stepping stones. They're not to be used the end all to be all. Honestly. And I've never been a type of person to be like, oh my God, I'm going to freak out if I ever see Nicki Minaj. Oh my God, I'm going to freak out if I ever see Cardi B. Oh my God, I'm going to freak out if I ever see Vin Diesel. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. I've never been that type of person. I've been around movie stars. Y'all got to understand, like, I've been around them. I see them as regular people. The motherfuckers are regular people. They have just gotten to a status to now where they have to protect themselves. And ultimately, like, bro, 4 swords, a whole new world, yeah. They put themselves in a mental imprisonment. This shit crazy.
Has made it virtually impossible to listen to Pink Print guilt-free at this point. And that's if you made it to this point before you got past all of the weird cases.
I am so disappointed in Nicki Minaj for aligning herself with Donald Trump at the United Nations and pushing this so-called narrative about Christianity in Nigeria. Christianity has a long history of being used as a tool of control, colonization, and persuasion, especially against Black people. So to see her participate in that feels off-brand, irresponsible, and extremely tone-deaf. And what makes it worse is the timing. The same day the Epstein files are set to be released, Nicki Minaj is suddenly being elevated as a political voice. That coincidence is not an accident.
What? Not Nicki Minaj helping to run interference for crimes against women? That doesn't sound like her. That's crazy. Wow.
As a black woman, as an immigrant, as someone who had to acquire her own citizenship, she should understand why partnering with Donald Trump, a man who has disenfranchised black communities, harmed immigrants, and separated families, is not something to celebrate. If Trump truly cared about protecting black lives, he could start in Sudan or the Congo.
I mean, if he cared about black lives, then he might have gone in to save South Africans. But they had to be white, now didn't they? They certainly did have to be white. Also, if he cared about black lives, like just name a U.S. city. Yeah, just name. Yeah, bringing in whole National Guard, trying to change the statutes to make law more punitive while he strips away jobs and calling all of us DEI and unqualified. He cares about black lives. Oh, wait, no, it's the Christian part of it. It's the Christian part of it because he's so religious. It says right there in 2 Corinthians that you got to go in and make sure all the Christians are safe all around the world. Well, unfortunately, the cost of such bumbling action on the international stage could be great.
Let me help the Nicki Minaj barbs out here in my comments real quick, because the ignorance is loud and the homework is non-existent. Not only are they ill-informed, but outlets like Billboard are spreading false narratives. While you're defending Nicki like
They're gonna mean to Nicki Minaj and Donald Trump. They already doing it.
Blind, ignorant rats, and not knowing what you're defending, the reality is she's parroting false claims pushed by the Felon 47 administration about Christian persecution in Nigeria. And you don't even know what she's talking about. So let me educate. The claim that Felon 47 keeps repeating is that Christians in Nigeria are facing a government-backed genocide, that the Nigerian state is allowing mass killings, and that the US might need to intervene with guns blazing. Here's what's actually happening. Nigeria has violence, yes, but it's not religious genocide. Attackers target everyone. Muslims, Christians, entire villages, whole regions. A lot of it is tied to land conflict, criminal groups, and Boko Haram terrorism, but not some coordinated government plot to wipe out Christians. That's a lie. A political talking point to justify a US invasion. And experts, analysts, and Nigerian officials themselves have debunked it. And let's talk about the part no barb seems to understand. What a US invasion actually means. If the US went into Nigeria based on this false narrative that Nicki is platforming and advocating for, the cost would be catastrophic. We're talking about destabilization in West Africa, civilian casualties, economic collapse, and a massive refugee crisis. All because a foreign...
Like, do she not know this dumbass orangutan just fucking pretty much invaded, but no pew exchange with Mexico? Like, bro, that shit can go so fucking bad. Oh my God, how all this shit is tied together. This shit is crazy as fuck. We gonna see. We gonna pull some energy on this shit.
Foreign government, the United States, acted on misinformation. Nigeria is one of the largest economies in that continent, with 200+ million people. A US invasion wouldn't save Christians. It would tear the country apart, inflame extremist groups, and punish millions of innocent people. So when Nicki repeats this propaganda, like it's a slogan at the United Nations, she's endorsing something that could cause an international disaster. This is why what Nicki is doing is dangerous, because what she's platforming isn't just concern for Christians. She's amplifying a narrative built on misinformation, one that's been used to justify extreme rhetoric, foreign intervention, and even calls for military action. She's repeating a talking point she clearly didn't research. And here's the embarrassing part. If you're going to defend your fave, at least know what she's actually aligning herself to. Because right now, you're arguing with confidence with zero accuracy. This is about Nikki recycling propaganda she didn't check the facts. And if you're in my comments swinging blindly, you're proving my point for me.
She a demon.
Do your homework. Learn what's actually happening in Nigeria. And maybe, just maybe, stop embarrassing yourself in the process.
And that's not to mention the cost to Nicki Minaj herself.
So you guys know that over the last few years, I've really tried to be intentional about what I say in public about Black folks. I try to be really careful, but some things require a public statement. And as I've been watching this situation unfold with Nicki Minaj and Trump and Nigeria, I thought it was important for me to say a few things. There are consequences to aligning yourself with Donald Trump and his policies and his evil ways. Consequences. What we know is that as he turns his attention to Nigeria, understanding his history, there will absolutely be exploitation, theft of resources. Somebody that he knows wants something from Nigeria. It could be a business partner, it could be a friend.
It's the motherfucking minerals in the earth. That's what they want. And let me tell y'all this. There's a toxic relationship between Sagittariuses and Geminis as well. I don't know what it is, but there's one. Air and fire.
It could be a said corporation. It could even be his family members. But they will invade Nigeria and exploit the people for their own benefit. And they will throw Nicki Minaj to the wolves because they could care less. They couldn't care less about their sister. The unfortunate part about all of this.
She didn't call shapeshifting, so like I said, like the shapeshifting shit is for real. It's not for joke. It's not for game. It's not for none of that. That shit is real.
This is that there will forever be a stain associated with this moment that this sister will have to walk with. She will 100% see bloodshed because innocent Nigerians will be harmed and even likely killed as a result of whatever is to come. And she will have that on her hands. And it is pretty sad to watch because what we know is that Trump, often uses Black people and Black culture to harm Black people here and abroad. And it is happening in real time. And that.
But what y'all gotta understand, these shapeshifters, these reptilians, that shit is real. I told y'all, they's using bodies, they's crashing out bodies till they crash out completely because of shit that they have contracted to and the shit they have done and will do and not give a fuck because it's free will. Y'all did it with y'all free will. They're not. They don't have a heart. Their heart don't beat. They're vampires. They're cold, calculated. They don't give a fuck. They have no fucking heart.
That sister is going to carry this moment with her forever. So today is a pretty sad day. It's a pretty sad day, and it won't be long before we all get to see how it unfolds. Maybe she knows, maybe she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't have anybody around her to inform her. But history tells what's going to happen. And it's, again, a pretty sad day.
Ooh, that was a thank you, Tamika Mallory. He uses.
It's also probably why Burgermeister is going after Beyonce now. There's been a lot of shit going down.
Black culture to harm black people. And in that regard, maybe Nicki Minaj just came home again. I mean, I feel like that was spoken much better than she could have explained it herself.
Which means that trying to make it about any particular a group of people, it's not going to work. Like, it doesn't work that way. And you guys, let me, first of all, do you understand what I just tried to say?
Shut your stupid ass up. Say that, folks. Your man say it.
It's actually a lot of parallels I see with Nicki Minaj and Stephen A. Smith. You know, come out like full force because of how much black support they have, so they just keep playing football, making it more and more. Like, just find the hat, just find the red hat. You know what I mean? Just find, because this ain't it. This ain't it. I mean, I couldn't imagine who would be out here pushing this kind of narrative from our community.
You know what's funny? These black folk, right, our black community that support followers of Nicki Minaj are actually mad at this woman because.
And guess what? While y'all going and taking action for what the fuck Nicki Minaj say, that bitch gonna go back to Trinidad, wherever the fuck she from, wherever island she gonna go to. That's probably why God told that motherfucker up too. I don't know. That's crazy. Unless she gonna get a home somewhere else. Cause playing both sides of this coin gonna get her ass tossed.
Worked with the administration and spoke out against persecuted black Christians. Do you hear what I just said? Black Christians. Y'all people are so full of hate for Republicans and for people you disagree with politically. It's over politics. This woman did not join the administration. That's something that's passionate to her, that there are 100,000 Christians who are black, because they are the original African Americans. They are the original. We all come from Africa.
Most corrupt sheriff's department.
People,
we've been reporting on
one stupid person gonna say, oh, well, she don't ever speak up about black African American issues. These are the original black people.
Mm-hmm.
Black people aren't being killed by the hundreds of thousands for their religious belief. You people are completely depraved. Many of you in the black community, y'all are ungodly. Some of y'all don't have a lick of God. I don't care what church you go to and jump and shout. You don't have no God in your heart. You don't have no Jesus in your heart. That you don't care because you care more about the fact that you hate Trump than her celebrating, trying to stand up and speak out against Christians being killed in Africa by Muslims. Speak out.
Hey, man, the SEALs, we got some cleanup in the Jubilee debate. Yeah, now he back out again. I know. I heard what they said about his jacket. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. It's Thanksgiving time, so you know what that means.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb,
tomatoes, turkeys. It's going to be a little bit less this year, probably. You know. Trump 47. So it's going to be a diet Thanksgiving. But it also means I'll be doing my Thanksgiving video showcasing all the things that we have to be grateful for. And I would love your participation. So check out the community tab and give me your suggestions. It could be anything you're thankful for. I'm thankful they finally will release the Epstein files. I'm thankful Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend got to sleep with one eye open. I'm thankful that no matter how much negative feedback she gets, Lara Trump just keeps singing.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down.
And of course, I'm thankful to all of you. So many of you guys have hit me up at admin@reesewaters.com, including my man TP all the way from Germany. Shout out to all my German Americans out there. Let's see, we got, Bruce Willis was born in West Germany.
Damn.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother. Sandra Bullock, whose mother was a German opera singer, and Michael Fassbender. We won't talk about where my mind goes with Michael Fassbender. Ain't no Dominique Wilkins. They're not going to talk about Neek, the human highlight film. Oh, he was born in Paris. He should get credit for that. Some of that Jerry curl dripped in Germany. I know it did. TP writes, Miss Ray, good morning. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I most certainly did. Bama won, and after nearly a year, I finally got some merch. I got a beanie hat, a Who Raised Y'all coffee mug, and an I'm Troubled t-shirt. I'm providing a photo of all the items, and the beanie really keeps your head warm. I would also say the Who Raised Y'all mug also keeps your head warm, because I only break it out when I'm hot. You know, when I'm mad at people, I'm hot, I showcase it and make sure that it's facing whose parenting I'm questioning. But shout out to TP for submitting those and for being such an integral part of this community. Be on the lookout for our Black Friday sale and make sure you order by December 10th in order to get your items by Christmas. Now, a lot of you guys have also talked about the fact that the items aren't on the YouTube page anymore. And believe me, a book will be written all about what we've had to deal with on the back end trying to get those things showcased. But they're still available over at thepeoplesgetup.com. Again, that is thepeoplesgetup.com, as well as reesewaters.com. And while you're at it, be sure to send me your merch pics to admin@reesewaters.com. And while you're at it, I could use a good plug for vests. Now in my 4th decade, I feel the sudden need for vests. I could also get a good Stetson hat, and probably this time next year, a cane. That's how I see Thanksgiving 2026. Oh, I'm gonna be strutting come election next year.
He is funny. I ain't watched him in a minute. What the fuck? This shit crazy, yo. A lot of the fictitious people are gonna fall for this bullshit. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut the hell up. More than half the people that we look up to, yo, are fucking foreigners. As inspiration for music, seriously. These motherfuckers ain't nothing to look up to. This shit is a mess, and it just gets messier and messier. They better hurry up and impeach that motherfucker. Because he's trying. He is trying to crash America out. He's trying. He's trying hard as fuck.
Hello, it's your girl Donalisa Morgan, Dona for short with the Messy, and we back with another video. Before we get into the drama, I want to say everything on this commentary is alleged. Chaos, y'all. Your Glorilla was spotted courtside along with her man, and it was a really cute moment. I love the fact that she's in love and she's happy, but fans couldn't notice the massive transformation on Glorilla. And while some fans were loving it because, ain't gonna lie, she looked pretty good, that's for sure. And now fans out here dragging her for looking too white. Though it looks like it's all the editing of the photo, but girl, something is off. Hopefully it's just editing and she ain't out here bleaching her skin. Because ain't gonna lie, I love me a black Glorilla, that's for sure. And I'm happy she is in her lovey-dovey era. Bardi gang out here working overtime rather than focusing on streaming their face album, trying to bring or start new beef between Milagro and Nicki. And mind you, Milagro already apologized for all these videos and audios, but yet Bardi gang won't let it go because apparently the Barbs are rooting for Milagro. Here's what's being posted. A resurfaced voice note of Milagro dragging Nicki Minaj to absolute filth is making waves online amid her ongoing court battle with Megan Thee Stallion. Ironically, her newfound loyalty to Nicki is part of and she's now facing a lawsuit that could potentially land her behind bars. Yeah, Megan can't take the fact that everyone is Team Nicki and not supporting her lying, drunken, certified flopping ass. I'm gonna play y'all the clip so y'all take a listen at what Milagro had to say. And mind y'all, it was pretty messy, guys.
So, this is what Nicki Minaj had to say. She said black girl tragic. Now, what's the issue with that? And did you hear her say, I don't give a fuck about y'all getting upset with me about using it? Okay, well, don't give a fuck when I get on your ass, bitch, because you are completely out of fucking line this time, hoe. And all of you, and Nicki, you the same bitch with your hypocritical two-faced ass. You sat up there and you ran that shit into the ground, talking about how Cardi called black women roaches, talked about how people's baby had died and called them monkeys and this, that, and the other. What the fuck is the difference between her sitting up here in all seriousness calling y'all black bitches and saying black girl tragic?
Listening to this is definitely getting under my skin because how you talk about Nicki like this, Nicki fighting for the black community, but then I remember this is what the Bardi gang want, right? They want the Bardi gang to stop supporting Milagro. That's why they out here dropping all these old audio recordings.
And what is the insult to injury and why does this matter? Let's get into the thing. When we say a hashtag, we already know that it's searchable. When we go on Instagram, when we go on Twitter, whatever the case may be. So Nicki Minaj was aware, per what the fuck she said herself. And I'm not cutting the whole slack at all. I'm not going for it. And if your hypocritical ass want to sit up here and try to make excuses for the bitch, then you can talk to your damn self and get your bitch ass out today and I'll fuck with you tomorrow.
Cardi B has zero character, zero intellectual intelligence, zero writing skills. She's a reciter, an irresponsible. I don't want to get into a lot of details, but the fact that y'all trying to say Nicki's
okay. Anyways, fuck, they both don't. If you ask me, like I said, they both don't at this point, and shit, y'all gonna be fucking throw with their ass. Keep following behind them. What the fuck is going on? Yo, what the fuck? These old bitches, they just don't want real healing.
Have you heard of crack or ice?
Yes!
Let me tell you how it changed Misty. Misty tried drugs her big sister left behind. Cigarettes and pills, whatever she could find. She thought it made her cool to be going so far. She wanted to be wild and crazy like a...
Get the fuck back, bro. I ain't tap on that shit. Oh my god, it started me all over. I hate it when it does that. Whoa. Got them looking like ants. How much you heard of crack or crystal or dust or something? They said, what the fuck? What the hell is really going on? Y'all got a funny. I'm confused. Ants on drugs. Boy, what kind of shit they got going on? Carrie Hilson came out with another song.
This isn't shopping.
Good, it went straight back to where it was. The Thanksgiving stories, PBS origins, the Thanksgiving story that they don't teach. They teach you about. You don't see. Oh, he don't got no legs. That's me on two hands. What is happening? Look at his face. I think everybody feel like that right now. Like, what the fuck? Get him out the office, please. Hurry up. What the fuck? I think everybody's to have like some kind of psychotic breakdown. I was wrong. That's cute as fuck. The intro that made enemies dance. The most diabolical opening strategy ever. Kendrick Lamar did his shit, still doing it. They not like us. That's what I was gonna say earlier. They seriously are not like us. Segments. I don't. Oop. Damn, why nothing good really come up on my laptop? Difference against fire starter. Against fire starters, what? Oh my god. And what's his name lost his baby? Like this shit crazy as fuck. And he a rapper, like this shit is like too unreal not to be able to see. Encanto 2. A first one will change everything. What's Encanto 2 about?
We say
Pop Smile.
the Dream Team. Zootopia 2 is a wildly smart and outstanding sequel that's well worth the wait. We say nothing. Abuela wants tonight to be perfect. To the Guzmans leave. You did not break into Bruno's tower. The magic is not dying. The house is not breaking. Luisa's gift is not fading. No one will know. Just act normal.
When Encanto first hit screens, it didn't just become another Disney hit, it became a cultural moment. The film, set in the heart of Colombia, was filled with vibrant color, catchy songs, and deep themes about family, expectations, and identity. But even with everything it gave us, there's still a bunch of room for the story to grow. That's why Encanto 2 feels like such an exciting opportunity. It's a chance to expand on what made the first film so beloved, while exploring characters who still have so much more to tell, especially Bruno Madrigal. But let's face it, Bruno was one of the most fascinating and memorable parts of Encanto. The mysterious uncle who could see the future quickly became a fan favorite. Even though the entire town sang about how they don't talk about Bruno, audiences around the world couldn't stop talking about him. His song became a global hit, topping charts for weeks, and made him one of Disney's most intriguing side characters in years. But the truth is, even though he had such a big presence, Bruno never really got the spotlight he deserved. That's exactly why Encanto 2 has the perfect chance to fix that. The original story of Encanto starts with Alma Madrigal, the family matriarch who escapes an armed conflict with her husband and 3 children. Tragically, her husband's death leads to the creation of a miracle, a magical candle that blesses Alma's descendants with extraordinary powers. Each child in the Madrigal family receives a gift, creating a household full of magic and wonder. But for Bruno, that gift came with a heavy price. His power to see into the future often caused misunderstandings and fear, making others avoid him. That's part of what makes Bruno's story so hard. He's not evil or dangerous, he's just misunderstood. His visions were never meant to hurt anyone, they simply revealed truths that others weren't ready to face. The song We Don't Talk About Bruno captured that perfectly, giving us the villagers' and family's perspective of him. But what we never got was Bruno's own voice. He didn't get to sing his story, to express his loneliness, or to explain what it felt like to live in isolation those years. So if there's one thing Encanto 2 absolutely needs, it's Bruno's solo song. It would be such a powerful moment, finally letting him express what's been building up inside him. And with John Leguizamo's incredible vocal range, Disney has the perfect opportunity to deliver something unforgettable. He's shown his talent before, both in musicals like Moulin Rouge and even in animated roles like Ice Age. Giving Bruno a solo number would not only honor his journey, but also give fans the emotional moment they've been waiting for. Imagine it, Bruno alone in his room, maybe late at night, surrounded by the familiar sound of whispering rats. The tone could start quietly, maybe even somber, before building into something more epic and emotional. The lyrics could explore how he struggles with his gift, how he's afraid of what his visions mean, and how hard it is to be part of a family that once feared him. The song could also include flashes of hope, showing how Bruno's acceptance by his family helped him heal. It could be something haunting, beautiful, and inspiring all at once, exactly the kind of big musical moment that could define the sequel.
Yeah, but he...
Have you heard of crack or ice? Yeah.
Bro, that's not where it was last.
The future of video generation is here. Vlon 2.5, now live on Atlas Cloud.
They funny. What the fuck is that? Some pizza. That's crazy. What the hell? She gone. That is old. Uh-oh. Europe. The African super plume is awakening as... Oh, what the fuck? There's another volcano.
Burns here. Breaking news, there has just been a huge volcanic eruption in Ethiopia, specifically the Afar region, and this is quite striking because Africa typically doesn't get volcanic eruptions, and if it does, it occurs usually in the Congo. Though we do have the African super plume welling up underneath the eastern part of the continent, creating the East African Rift Valley. This really isn't surprising because pressure has been building here for decades. We saw a lot of activity a little further south near Dauphin and Fontal volcanoes in the past few months, like 6 months ago, 12 months ago. There's a big magmatic dike intrusion. We had steam explosions, big earthquakes up to magnitude 6, showing that overall activity was increasing, though it may have been below the surface more so. now we have it expressing. And this is the first volcanic eruption that has occurred from this volcano here, Haley Gooby, in more than 10,000 years. That is the first recorded volcanic eruption in recorded history, as far as we know. Here we see that ash plume rising up. There are 1.5 million people that live near these volcanic systems in and around the East African Rift Valley. So if this was to really evolve, this could become quite a serious situation. Though again, we're looking at geologic time here. So most of these volcanoes have low viscosity magma. They don't have these big explosive events. That's kind of what we had today. Here we also see it from more zoomed out satellite view. We see that ash cloud right there moving over Yemen, and that has occurred just in the past day. For about the past 12 hours, this has happened. And this is going up to 10,000 feet, 3,000 meters. It's likely risen a bit more than that since we got those initial estimates. And again, the first recorded eruption in 10,000 years. Here we can look at our satellite imagery thanks to Google Earth. And here we have Haley Gooby volcano, one of many in this volcanic zone. If you scroll around here, you'll see a bunch of other volcanoes as well. So it's not like it's the one big baddie of the area. It is really, honestly, one of the smaller volcanoes. It's a shield volcano there, but it seems to be the culprit for this big ash plume coming up. And you'll see just how twisted and churned up this landscape is because of the African super plume rising up underneath the surface. So this whole area has been very, very active. If we go down here, we'll see some of our other volcanoes which have been active recently. Let's type in Dauphin volcano. And this is where we had this big dike intrusion in between this and Fontal volcano. So not super close by. We see that it's separated by some distance here. We can measure that out using the measure tool. And so we go from right about there to there. So about 450 kilometers away from each other. But the African super plume is very active across this entire area. It's a huge geologic feature, one of the largest on the planet. We can check that out right here. Here we see across two different cross sections of the African super plume, but specifically I want you to look at this one going from A to A dash. And this shows overall the seismic velocity, whether it's fast or slow for Africa. And you see this area right there, it's very slow velocity. This is the P wave that we're looking at, so the compressional wave for a sound wave. And when it's low velocity, that means that it is overall more malleable and hot, and it's a low velocity seismic province or zone, and it's usually linked to volcanism. Here we can see the cross section with depth. So we see that African super plume coming up.
Hearing a lot about this volcanism.
Closer down here to like South Africa, like in this zone, and then you see how it starts to actually go up, and then it becomes a river of lava across the surface. And this is actually breaking the continent apart. So continents are the hardest and most stable geologic structures that we have on the surface of the planet. They're made up of certain rock types, typically like felsic rock types that are very, very strong, and they're I think granite, right? And well, this flow of energy up from depth is so powerful that it's actually causing the continent to rift apart. And most of that energy is concentrated right there in the Afar region of Ethiopia, and then going a little bit further down as well. And even there's a bit of activity going into Arabia. So this is what's happening with Africa. And we've been seeing this pressure building now for not just months, but years, even decades.
I'm saying that's crazy because I didn't know Ethiopia was in Africa. I thought Ethiopia was more in like the, the other region of.
And now we're finally starting to see big explosive eruptions from this rifting zone in the Afar region, which doesn't usually have them. It is a volcanically active area. You can go back to 2010s to 2020s and find different eruptions, but it's not the most common. They are fairly infrequent compared to, let's say, like Hawaii, another volcanic plume system coming up, right? It's having eruptions basically like clockwork right now in 2025. So this is what's happening. You have this huge amount of energy and convection and flow from the core mantle boundary. And exactly why is a good question, likely related to the geodynamo and deep inner earth processes, but we really don't know why. And then it comes up and it starts to move laterally. You get decompression melting where the pressure drops, and then you get this rock to effectively start to melt and liquefy, you could say, forming these magma chambers very close underneath the surface. And then when they repressurize, it's like popping a pimple, basically. And then, boom, you get some action going up. So that's what's happened here. 20% of the volcanoes that are known in the East African rift showed activity, signs of deformation and things of that nature, going from 2015 to 2020. So in a 5-year time span, that's it, just 5 years, there was a huge amount of activity across those 18 volcanoes, representing 20% of the total number known. There's also subsidence and more. The area is very active geologically, energetically, and again, 5 million people live in and around that area. We know a lot of what we know about this because of isotope ratios. Specifically, helium isotope ratios are very, very important for tracking where this energy is coming from, because we know that there are different helium isotope ratios down near the core mantle boundary, and they are brought up from depth as a result of mantle plumes like Hawaii and the super plume here in Africa. So helium, remember, is the second lightest element right behind hydrogen.
Yeah,
it's a noble gas. I mean, it's not that reactive, right? It doesn't really bind to things. And this allows it to migrate up from the deep earth. And
I heard, we're all gonna die. That's Ice Age Meltdown, was it? When they were going through the cave on Ice Age in the dinosaur bone or whatever in the rib cage, and they got stuck. And if they breathed in the gas, it was laughing gas, they were going to die laughing. Yeah. Because helium comes from volcanoes.
When you find these high He3, He4 ratios, like those observed in Ethiopia, then you know that has a very deep origin. And well, that's exactly what we see. We see different ratios going across this rift zone. We see that they're very, very elevated in this Ethiopia dome region, the far zone. So this is where we had that eruption just recently. And again, this is a big eruption. Just check out that plume satellite imagery going out like this. So this is a developing story. I'll keep you up to date on what is happening. We track everything that's happening energetically on the Earth. That's earthquake eruptions, geophysical events like geomagnetic storms. We also look at solar activity, space weather, planetary resonances, and cosmic forces and events as well as know. So if you like the sound of that, then please subscribe.
All right, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back, do a second card reading. Y'all be great. Love yourself. Give yourself words of affirmation to yourself. To you know, somebody you don't know. Keep the love going. Keep your eye out. I told y'all something big was going to happen. I felt that shit. That shit crazy. These motherfuckers ain't no good. Love yourself. Love you guys. Be great. I really do though. I love y'all. I love everybody, even my haters. Love you. Even if I still love myself. Be great.